Last episode we secured the bargain of the century as Portuguese sensation Jota helped us to 4 straight victories and took us to within touching distance of the Champions League places. And today, with momentum high, we try and see if we can keep up this incredible form. But as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. We start this episode just 2 points behind our arch rivals Liverpool in 5th place, and just 3 points behind the Manchester Giants Manchester United in the final Champions League spot. And from a team that has been struggling with consistency all season long, I cannot understate what the arrival of this man has done since joining us in the January transfer window. Yes, he may only have 1 goal and 1 assist in 3 appearances, but he has been an absolute nuisance on the left-hand side of my midfield, and that is evidenced by the fact that he's got a 7.83 rating in just 3 Premier League appearances. And it's not just his performances that are setting the world alight, he's also helping those around him, with Beto grabbing the January Player of the Month award for the first time in his Everton career. 7 goals in the Premier League, 4 assists and 8 goals in all competitions this season. He has well and truly established himself as our #1 striker, and he is leaving Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the dust and giving me some serious thought that I might want to consider selling the 27-year-old Englishman when the summer transfer window reopens. However, for me, the biggest talking point is not of this man Jota, it's not of this man Johan Bakayoko, who too is having a stellar season with 6 goals and 4 appearances in all competitions. It's not even about the Portuguese man Beto, it is all about the career revival of Dele Alli. Yes, he might only be rated 76, but he's got 12 goals in all competitions, 8 of those coming in the Premier League. He is my top goal scorer this season by some margin, and Dele Alli's career has reignited at Everton Football Club. I have to be honest, I think the constant battle between himself and Damsgaard for that position in behind the striker has done absolute wonders for his confidence and his form. And with Damsgaard still yet to step up since joining in the summer with just 2 goals in 20 appearances in all competitions, that man Dele Alli has continued to show exactly why he was considered such a wonder kid in his early years. And hopefully with our Premier League momentum on the up, both he and the rest of the squad continue this fine form. Unfortunately enough, we do just that, keeping another clean sheet, this time away from home against Brighton, with Nathan Patterson getting an early goal and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the man who I was just talking about, getting a very late one in the 86th minute to give us another 3 points. But frustratingly, with a much changed starting 11, we are brought crashing right back down to earth, as despite us taking a 1-0 lead in the 63rd minute, courtesy of a Dwight McNeil goal, we lose 3-1 to Millwall at home, and we go crashing out of the FA Cup. It's frustration from the board, as it means we do not hit one of our domestic objectives, and it's also frustration from the fans as well, as it means it's going to be another season at Everton Football Club that we remain trophyless. And I've got to be honest, in spite of such a good run of form up to that point, the status that I have with the board now isn't weak. It makes it even more important that we try and finish in a European spot this season in the Premier League, and from out of nowhere it piles a huge amount of pressure on my shoulders. And I've got to be honest, with Chelsea being the team up next that we're going to host in our very next Premier League game at Goodison Park, things are not about to get any easier. It's going to be an incredibly tough game against Mauricio Pochettino's West London outfit, but it's a game that we have to get back to winning ways for, and a game that we absolutely must pick up 3 points from. Now, there aren't any major changes to my starting 11. As you can see, Pickford starting goal, Patterson, Gay, Branthwaite and Hato at the back, Onana, Garner and Dele Alli in midfield, with Jota, Bakayoko and Beto starting up front. But as you can see from my bench, the lack of squad depth is really starting to hurt me. As look at the players, they're absolutely knackered, they're out on their feet. It doesn't really give me a lot of options if the game is not going our way as it progresses. Mark Gay throws it over to the left hand side to Hato, takes it down nicely, and now he will drive into the Chelsea half here. None of the Chelsea players putting in any sort of challenges. Onana picks it up, and frustratingly Beto has just strayed offside, as that was a really good opportunity there. How close is he? Right on the line. Oh, just half a body length away. Really frustrating way to start the game. Comes Ziyech for Chelsea into Cristante now to try and bring it out of defence, and plays a lovely ball into Hakim Ziyech. Twisting, turning, getting away from 2 of my players. Lovely stuff from the young man into Cristante again. James Garner tries to come across the challenge. Not good enough. Nicholas Jackson strikes straight at Jordan Pickford. Makes it look easy. Jared Branthwaite throws it all the way across to Nathan Patterson on the right hand side. Really good ball. Patterson tries to feed it inside, he does to Beto, wins it well. Bakayoko now has it, and Bakayoko now can try and streak into the box. Good challenge from Cucurella, Everton corner. It's one that James Garner is going to take, and I'm going to throw it into the penalty spot here, looking for the head of Dele Alli, the man on form. Doesn't manage to win it though, Bakayoko does. James Garner again will throw it back in, this time with his left foot. Goes to the back post of Jota on the volley. What a save from Sanchez. There's going to be another corner here. This has been a brilliant response from Everton inside the opening 20 minutes. Dele Alli tries to get his head on it. He does. Does it fall to Beto? It's bouncing around all over the place. Eventually it's hacked clear by Nkunku. It will be Jota Jota, who will pick up the ball again and tries to go down the left-hand side. Plays a lovely ball into Hato. Hato to feed it right across to the back post, looking for Bakayoko. He strikes straight at the goalkeeper. Can he get in the rebound? Strikes with his left. It's blocked off again. Chelsea living on the edge here, but we pick it up now. Jota has it. Jota's going to try and keep it in play. He does. He goes short, though, into Dele Alli. Dele Alli trying to wriggle his way through. Does manage somehow to keep hold of the ball. Can't get past this stubborn Chelsea defence, though. Hato picks it up. Out to James Garner. Shifts it onto his right and strikes, puts it wide. Chelsea trying to play this one out of defence, and they're being very calm and composed here. Really good stuff from Chelsea. My word, they've done a really good job of making their way into my half here. Now Hakim Ziyech has it. Goes out to the left-hand side to Nkunku. Goes further out to Moreira Jr., who was just straight offside. Really unfortunate for Chelsea there, as they'd opened up my defence at ease. Nkunku now for Chelsea. They really ended the first half on top here, and they're going to try and start the second half exactly the same way. Onana, though, plays a lovely ball into the path of Jota, and he's managed to wriggle away from the challenge of Reece James. Plays it into Dele Alli. Dele Alli into Beto. Beto strikes. Beto scores. That, once again, is an absolute lightning Everton counter-attack. And who else would it be? The combination of Dele Alli and Beto to give us a 1-0 lead. Dele Alli with a lovely ball through the defence in the channel, and Beto, with the form he is in, makes no mistake from that area. What a finish. What a goal. What a way to give us a 1-0 lead here at Goodison Park. Well, that is exactly what the doctor ordered. A brilliant way to start this second half, and we've won the ball back high up the field yet again, and now Chelsea have everyone camped inside their own half here. We've got to try and see if we can put all this good possession to good use here, as Bakayoko plays a lovely ball into Patterson. He cuts it back into Beto again, who strikes this time against the defender, and Chelsea once again are living life on the edge here. Dele Alli keeps it alive. I'm looking for the run of Jota. Instead I find Hato. Hato is going to try and just dink it in, looking for the head of Beto again. This time he finds the volley of Beto, and the Portuguese man is unstoppable at the moment. It's his second goal of the game. It's our second goal, and it's even better than the first. Well, we just pin Chelsea back inside their own half. Hato with a beautiful ball just dinked it over the defence, and Beto was one step ahead of them, managed to get there ahead of Sanchez in goal, and that is a fabulous one-hit volley to give us a 2-0 lead. Thiago Silva now for Chelsea to try and bring this one out of defence and try and spark some life into what has been a pretty lacklustre performance so far in this second half. They cannot seem to get out of their own half here. The relentless Everton press is so good, but Reece James has managed to wriggle away from it there. And now Cristante finds a nice ball into Hakim Ziyech. It's just short passing, though. They're not really being able to penetrate my defence at the moment, and we have stayed strong here, but Nkunku is going to look to try and make amends to that. Now Pedro Gonçalves to try and get through the centre of my defence. Finds Nkunku. Bakayoko, though, back defending. Brilliant stuff from the young Belgian. And now he releases Nathan Patterson down the right-hand side, and look at the space the young man has to run into here. Has he got the pace to get away? He doesn't, but he throws it in the box instead. Look for Beto. Oh my word, I was mistaken earlier. That goal is his hat-trick, and that goal is the best of the lot today. Well, Patterson was running out of steam down that right-hand side. He had nowhere to go, so he just threw it into the box. And Beto, oh my word, what a header. You will be hard-pressed to find a better one all season. Unbelievable stuff from the Portuguese. A towering header from a man in towering form this season. It's another Everton goal. It's 3-0. Over to Patterson again. We are looking to put the final nail in this Chelsea coffin here. We are all over them, looking for a fourth. We are sensing blood as it's thrown over from Bakayoko. Cristante, though, is there to win it back, but Dele Alli wins it back even higher up the pitch here. And now Nathan Patterson feeds it over to Bakayoko again, throws it back in, this time looking for Dwight McNeil. What a save from Sanchez. Well, that proved to be the final action of the game, but the final action that this man Beto will do is to collect the match ball from the officials after a stunning performance here. Well, 3 goals to his name and 3 goals to our name means that it finished 3-0 at full time. It means we extend our run of wins in the Premier League to 6, and it means that we lift ourselves up into 5th place, into the European spots for the first time this season. We've leapfrogged Manchester United, and we are now just 1 point away from West Ham in the final Champions League spot. And whilst, yes, it was an incredible team performance, there can be no doubt that the plaudits must go to this man Beto. He has come alive this season now that he has truly established himself as our number 1 striker up top. He's absolutely loving this new 4-3-3 formation, and he's absolutely loving the fact that we are just continuing to whip balls into the box that he can get his head to, as he looks to to try and see if he can hit the 15 goal mark in the Premier League this season. However, it does beg the question as to what I'm going to do about the future of this man, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's been officially shunted out of the starting 11 and now he can only find his place on the bench. And with him being so frustrated about his position at the club and him thinking that I'm doing damage to his career by not playing him, he has decided that enough is enough, and so he has submitted a transfer request. Now, we're clearly far out of the January transfer window, so even if he does go, it won't be until the end of the season. However, much to my shock, from absolutely nowhere, in typical FIFA fashion, Real Madrid of all teams have come in with a £26.2 million offer for him. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm absolutely stunned by this, and I can't exactly imagine that this would happen in real life, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting it based off of his performances this season. But when Real Madrid come calling, it is very difficult for any player to turn down. And so, having done our best to renegotiate the deal to get a little bit more money out of the Spanish giants, Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets the most unlikely of transfers as he departs to Real Madrid for £32.6 million. It is an absolutely crazy transfer, but it's one that he nor the club could even consider turning down. It does mean that it brings his long time at the club to a very abrupt end, but hopefully with that large sum of money going some way to try and top up our budget ahead of the summer. Once again, I'm going to need your help to decide who you want to see in an Everton shirt come in and replace him up front, and who can realistically come in and give this man Beto a real run for his money ahead of Season 3. Once again, let me know down in the comments what you think. And after getting back to the football and continuing our winning streak, getting a late goal from Dele Alli to give us a 1-0 win against Aston Villa, we have finally been able to drag ourselves up to 4th position in the Premier League. Everton Football Club are in the Champions League spots, and we are level on points with our arch rivals Liverpool in 3rd. And as luck would have it, wouldn't you just believe it, that Anfield is our very next destination up next in our Premier League campaign as we face off against Liverpool in arguably what is going to be our biggest game of the season so far. A titanic clash at the top of the table, and a clash that is hopefully going to go some way to securing our status as a Champions League football club next season. And of course, it is no change to the usual starting 11. The usual suspects with Pickford in goal, Patterson, Gay, Branthwaite and Hato at the back, Onana, Dele Alli and Garner in midfield, Bakayoko on the right, Jota on the left, and of course the main man Beto starts up front. Well, here we go then, an absolutely huge game here at Anfield. It's a brilliant time to be an Everton fan, and this is a wonderful opportunity for us to try and see if we can put the final nail in Liverpool's coffin this season, as Hato has a wonderful opportunity to throw it in, looking for Bakayoko at the back post, but it's headed away by the defender. Liverpool get it clear. Liverpool have a throw. It's going to be Merlin to take into Rabiot. Merlin gets it back, and the Frenchman has it now into Endo in the centre of the park. Endo trying to twist and turn, trying to find an option, and finds Rabiot yet again, who drives into the penalty area. He's being held up here by Mark Gay. Good defending from the Englishman, and he does the job twice. Frustratingly goes out for a Liverpool corner, and it's one it looks like they are going to take short. It looks like it's going to be Politano who plays it into Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz, though, is blocked off by James Garner. Brilliant defending from the young Englishman. And now, can I try and see if I can release Bakayoko? The run was good, but the pass was too late. Virgil van Dijk with the free kick out to Gertruder on the right-hand side. Being chased down by Jota, cuts back in field for McAllister, does the dance round one of my midfielders, really good job, and now finds Politano into Jota. Rabiot strikes, Rabiot from distance, what a strike, what a goal. Well, Liverpool strike first here at Anfield, a fabulous strike from the Frenchman, and it's one that Jordan Pickford could do absolutely nothing about. Lovely one-touch play from Liverpool. They've danced around my defence one too many times so far in this game, and Rabiot from the edge of the box absolutely lashed a strike over Jordan Pickford, couldn't get on the end of it, off the bar, into the back of the net, and frustratingly it's 1-0. Well, that wasn't the start that we were hoping for, but I've got to be honest, we've been pretty under the cosh so far in the opening 20-25 minutes here. We've got to try and see if we can change that so far as Jota tried to put a challenge in, but it's just a throw. Goes into Rabiot, he's blocked off though by James Garner, and now we've got the opportunity to try and hit them on the counter. The ball was on for Jota, but we couldn't make our minds up quick enough, and we couldn't get it into his feet, and now Liverpool will try and strike back with McAllister, and Anna comes across to try and challenge. Politano, though, goes past Hato like he's not even there, and now it's Jota who's frantically trying to get back, but he doesn't have the same pace of Politano. He now shifts it onto his left. Nice pass into McAllister, step over into Endo. Endo tries to go into the box. He's blocked off, though, once again by James Garner, who has had a sterling performance at the heart of my midfield. Tried to play the ball over into the path of Beto, but Virgil van Dijk is one step ahead of him. Well, it was a pretty lacklustre performance from us in the first half, it must be said. We couldn't really carve out any decent opportunities. We've got to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen here here in the second 45 minutes, but just as I say that, it's a really poor ball from Branthwaite, and now it puts us in a really tricky position here. Luis Diaz did have a wonderful opportunity to bring the ball forward, but in the end, got his wires all crossed, and now Dele Alli, he was going to try and release Beto, got the ball all wrong. Fortunately though, Jota will keep it alive, and he'll throw it into the box here, looks for the back post for Beto. Beto, does it fall to Bakayoko? No, it doesn't. That is a wonderful opportunity, and it's one that we should have taken, and we should be level on terms here. Gertruda, nice little dink down the right-hand side. He's got the beating of Hato there, and now he's going to try and drive into the box, but plays a nice short pass into Jota. It's being held up, though. Still has the ball. We cannot seem to get it off Liverpool at the moment. Into Politano, out to the edge of the box to McAllister. McAllister finds Endo. Endo goes back to McAllister. Brilliant strike, brilliant goal, and Liverpool cannot be stopped here today. Well, whatever way we try and challenge them, they just seem to knock the ball past us. We are just not good enough defensively here at Anfield today, and when the pressure is on us, we seem to have fallen apart. Jordan Pickford perhaps shouldn't have been beaten at his near post there. He really should have done better. And much to Klopp's delight, though, Liverpool take a 2-0 lead. Well, if we're going to come back into this game, we've got all the work to do here. 60 minutes on the clock. And apart from that one opportunity that we really should have scored earlier on, we've been so poor and haven't really had any opportunities. And just as I say that, we don't give the ball away yet again. It's been the story of the game so far. All Liverpool, we haven't been able to match up to their press and their aggression. And Mark Gay, fortunately enough, manages to get us out of a spot of bother here. Bakayoko now will try and bring it forward into Onana. Onana's surely going to look for the run over to the left-hand side of Jota. Jota, is he going to get there ahead of Van Dijk? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Manages to win it back. Can he try and play it into the path of Beto? Beto strikes into the top right-hand corner. The man cannot stop scoring, and that is a huge goal that gets us back into this game. Well, I thought the chance was gone when Van Dijk got there ahead of Jota, but the determination of the Portuguese man won it back and played it into Beto, and with the form that man is in, he cannot miss from any angle. A brilliant finish, absolutely smashed it past the goalkeeper. We are back in this game, it's 2-1. Endo for Liverpool, challenged by James Garner. We really have our tails up here as James Garner turns around the corner, plays it into Damsgaard. He finds Bakayoko's just straight offside. Well, that goal seems to have given us a new lease of life here as we are pressing Liverpool so high up the field, but wonderful play from them, and they have managed to escape our press and managed to find their way deep into our half here as Jota into the box, into Rabiot. Cool, calm and collected work from the Frenchman, and just as quickly as we get our goal, we are undone once again from sheer brilliance from Liverpool. Well, it's so frustrating, but yet again defensively we just have not been good enough. We're putting challenges in, but they're just not timed particularly well. Liverpool once again just carved through our defence like a knife through butter, and it's a wonderful finish. His second of the game, Liverpool third, it's 3-1. Well, with under 10 minutes remaining on the clock here, we're going to be praying that we can try and do something special, but at the moment it does not look positive as Jota now has it. Jota's going to try and go past Branthwaite. This is just relentless from Liverpool now. They're all over us. They sense blood and they sense an opportunity here to really put the nail in our coffin. It's so poor, my word. How on earth did Williams miss? I thought for sure he was going to score, and things look like they're about to go from bad to worse as our new signing Jota is down holding his knee and the referee is calling for medical backup. And let's have a look at the replay. Jota went up for a header and he just seemed to land awkwardly on his left leg, and I think that's where the problem lies. He's going to have to come off along with Bakayoko. We're making a sub. I've just got to hope it's not something more serious than that. Branthwaite. Out to Hato, Liverpool once again pressing high. Hato though has managed to wriggle away, but then give the ball away. It's been a really poor performance here from us. We just have not been able to live with this Liverpool press. Hato though does make amends and wins it back, and now he will try and burst down this left hand side. He continues his run down the left hand side, totally unopposed. Where is the Liverpool defence here? Hato into the box, strikes, good save from Alisson. It's kept alive though by the substitute Dwight McNeil. Into the feet of Damsgaard. Damsgaard to James Garner, strikes against Van Dijk, headed away by Canate as the referee blows for full time. Well, Klopp is absolutely delighted. Look at the celebration here in front of Liverpool's fans. They know how important that victory was in the context of the Champions League fight this season. It's a really frustrating one from us as a poor performance means that they beat us at full time 3-1, but it's an even bigger problem as we confirm that Jota is now out for 2 months with a dislocated shoulder. It's such a frustrating injury for a man who has come in and absolutely lit up Goodison Park since joining in January, and with us being in the middle of March and only having a couple of months remaining of the season, has that ruled out the Portuguese for the remainder of the Premier League campaign. And not only though has his injury dented his own morale, but it's also put a massive dent in the morale of the overall squad. And I've just got to hope with us now dropping down to 6th place in the Premier League that our season, with just 11 games remaining, doesn't start to unravel in front of our own eyes. But with Dwight McNeil coming in and deputising in place of Jota, he has done the business, getting us back to winning ways with a late goal, as his goal is enough to beat West Ham 2-1. And we go one better in our very next game as we keep a clean sheet away from home against Wolves, as an early goal in the first half from Dele Alli is enough to give us a 1-0 win. And despite the board for some reason still considering my popularity at a very weak status, getting back in the win column twice is enough to lift us right back up the Premier League table, now into 3rd place, again level on points with our arch rivals Liverpool, as we've leapfrogged Spurs in the fight for a Champions League place. And of course, in typical fashion, who do we have up next in our very next game at Goodison Park? Of course, it is our Champions League rivals Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, whom we welcome to face off in front of our home fans in a game, once again, that many are calling a huge, pivotal moment in our Premier League campaign, and another game that we absolutely must get 3 points from. Dele Alli will be hoping to do the business once again against his former club, as he is in such fine form, he starts behind Beto, with the one and only major change being with Jota's injury. McNeil comes in on the left-hand side of midfield, as he hopes to try and stake a claim once again in our starting 11. Well, what a big game here today. Some might argue it's a must-not-lose game, as we don't want to lose ground to Spurs, who are pretty much level on points with us behind us, but for me, this is a must-win game. I want to try and put some separation between us, as they do have a couple of games in hand on us, and Mark Gay with a brilliant piece of defending, and I've got to hope that we continue that as the game progresses. Bakayoko's going to look for a wonderful ball right over to Dwight McNeil on the left-hand side, who has knotted that down beautifully, and he's managed to get away from Pedro Porro. Can I try and foot it into the box? It's James Garner, shifts it onto his right and strikes, blazes it against the defender, but fortunately it falls very kindly for Bakayoko, who will bring it out to the edge of the box. Nathan Patterson looking for an option, looking for someone, finds Onana. Onana now is desperately trying to seek some sort of option. He manages to find Hato. Hato looks for an option in the box, cuts it back. I was looking for the ball into Dele Alli, couldn't quite find him. Unfortunately for Spurs, they just about get the ball away. Lookman for Spurs, into Pellegrini. Back to James Maddison, lovely pass into Lookman, and Lookman's through here. Lookman, what a brilliant block from Mark Gay as he hacks it away. Much better defending from Everton there. We were carved open, but a brilliant last-ditch challenge from Mark Gay was enough to win the ball back, as Branthwaite tries to do the same thing against Maddison, but it's Lookman again, the danger man. This time he strikes, and this time it's Pickford who comes to our rescue. It's been an end-to-end start here in the opening 20 minutes. Both teams looking to put a marker down, and both teams looking to settle the score and get themselves 3 points here, as James Maddison has it on the edge of the box. He's chopped down though by Hato, but Hato manages to wriggle away from a couple of challenges, and now Dwight McNeil can try and bring the ball clear. I'm waiting for options, but no one seems to be running, and eventually I do try and put the ball over to Bakayoko, but it's well headed down by Chris Smalling, and once again Spurs bring it out of defence. Pellegrini for Spurs goes in the centre to, of course, the danger man, Maddison, but Onana with a thumping challenge and wins the ball back well from him. Now Beto has it. Beto in the centre though, loses it to Pellegrini in a dangerous position, and now Lookman has got the pace to just skip away from the challenge of Mark Gay. Into the box goes Lookman. What a save again from Jordan Pickford. Tottenham are relentless here. We had a good opportunity early doors, but ever since then it has been all the North London club, as Lookman has been the danger man. He finds James Maddison, the other creative force in this Spurs team. Mickey van der Ven on the edge of the box finds Maddison, who finds Son. Son turns into Udogie. Udogie strikes over the bar. Heung-min Son once again. Spurs knocking and knocking and knocking at the door. So far they've been unable to break it down, but we've got to hope that we can pull some sort of rabbit out of the hat here to try and stop them, because any moment now surely it is just a matter of time before they do. Lookman has it again on the edge of the box. Mark Gay is the man who comes across to try and challenge. Maddison has it. Good block there by Branthwaite. Brings it out into the path of Dwight McNeil as the referee blows for half time. Well, we are struggling big time here. We've got to try and see in this second 45 minutes if we can get a foothold back into this game, because at the moment we are struggling, and as things are going we are looking the more likely to concede. Patterson will try and bring it out of defence, try and inject some much needed creativity and energy into this team here. Patterson, lovely ball into Onana. Onana tried to feed it into Beto, but again it's well defended from Spurs. We are unable to break them down, and now once again they can try and see if they can hit us on the counter attack. Maddison though goes back to Basuma. Basuma, lovely ball straight back into Maddison's path here. I try and come across to challenge, but it's not a good enough challenge. Spurs keep the ball alive. I cannot seem to win it back from them, and again it's just this mental block against the big teams that we seem to have. It was was the same thing against Liverpool, that defensively we just seemed to struggle, but Hato did enough to win the ball back from Maddison, and now the Dutchman can try and drive down the left-hand side here and try and put a marker down. He's unchallenged and he continues his run. Look at brilliant play here. Can he try and find a ball into the box? He doesn't, but he does find Dwight McNeil, who shifts it onto his right and strikes. It's a low, hard strike, and from absolutely nothing, one end of the field to the other, Dwight McNeil, in place of the injured Jota, is putting a marker down as he lifts us into a 1-0 lead. But the plaudits must go to Hato down the left-hand side. He just kept running and running and running unopposed, and he had the coolness and composure to pick a spot and pick the man of Dwight McNeil, who, with a thumping strike in the bottom left-hand corner, managed to find a way past Vicario to give us a 1-0 lead. Maddison turns away and now is going to try and see if he can find some sort of option in Kulusevski on the right side, who skips away from Hato. Perhaps he's still fatigued from that lung-busting run down the left-hand side. It's thrown in, though. This time it's Mark Gay, who's been a force for good at the back for us so far in this game, who wins it. And now Onana can try and bring it away, and he finds Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil now goes central. I was looking for the ball into Beto. Wasn't a good enough ball, and Dele Alli wasn't able to get onto it either. But now it's Kulusevski who does manage to get onto it. He's blocked off, though, by Hato. And frustratingly, though, it's going to be a Spurs free kick. And it's one that Heung-min Son is going to take here. Well, actually, is it going to be either him or Maddison to take? It's going to be Son. They don't throw it in the box. Instead, they try and be clever, and Kulusevski has it. And Pickford is forced into a huge save. Spurs have another free kick here, and it's one that Heung-min Son is going to take. And this time, he is going to float it into the box. Headed down, though, only out as far as Pellegrini. Pellegrini in the box. Lovely little flick back into Pedro Porro. And what a save again from Jordan Pickford. This man is keeping us in the game. Spurs have another corner here, ramping up the pressure with just 5 minutes remaining on the clock. It's thrown in. Patterson tries to get his head on it. It's blocked by Son, and Son struck. What a save yet again from Jordan Pickford. Maddison, of course, will take the resulting corner. We are heading deep into stoppage time here. It's headed clear, though, by the substitute Kazawa. Only out as far as Chris Smalling for Spurs. Pedro Porro now has it. He's being chased down by Onana. Doesn't manage to get a challenge in, but Udoki will strike. Jordan Pickford, my word, he perhaps deserves a medal for his performance here today. It's hacked clear down the line by Nathan Patterson, and this time Bakayoko out of nowhere will get on the end of it. Where on earth are the Spurs defenders? Bakayoko shifts it onto his left, goes to strike. What a strike, what a save. Well, out of absolutely nothing, we somehow got a corner here, and it's a corner that I'm going to look to take short here. Cesar Huerta picks up the ball, finds James Garner. James Garner on his right, strikes, goes out for another corner, but it will not go out for a corner because the referee will blow for full time. And my word, what a result it is here at Goodison Park. It's one that Son can't believe, but one that I am absolutely delighted with. It is that man, Dwight McNeil, who stepped up to the plate when I needed him to in the absence of Jota, as his goal is enough to give us a 1-0 victory at full time. He struggled to get into the starting 11 last season. He was a peripheral figure in the squad last season, it must be said, but Dwight McNeil this season has stepped up when I needed him to. In the absence of Dan Juma and Mudryk, he was starting several games in the first half of the season, and he was playing at a pretty decent level. And now that Jota's come in and replaced him in the starting 11, he has not let his head drop. He's come back in with him being injured, and he secured 5 goals and 4 assists in all competitions this season. And with his winner against Spurs knocking them down to 5th place and cementing our spot in 3rd place in the Premier League, could Everton Football Club do the unthinkable this season and qualify for the Champions League? But if you want to find out, you're going to have to wait till the season finale, because that is it for today's episode. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.